Okay, welcome back. So we'll be starting our discussion again with while loops. So we talked about for loop in our previous lecture. So while loops are similar to for loop in many ways that you have a condition or multiple conditions you can check. Here is a simple while loop where I have one condition, which I can place a real condition in a minute. But there's a condition. If the condition is true, just like your for loop, you go inside the body of the while loop. If the condition is false, you exit the loop. And while loop, you will see, is more flexible than for loop. While loop not only gives you the flexibility, but you'll see it's more useful in most of the scenarios. For example, you can use a condition like this in while loop. You can check the condition like this: if while zip code equals 92706. What exactly this condition means? It means as long as the zip code, incoming zip code, which can come from a user, from a database, from a file, as long as the zip code is 92706, stay in this loop for infinity until as long as we get that same data. It could be just one time, could be 0 time, could be a million times. So if you have a condition like that one, you do not want to use a for loop, you want to use a while loop. What if you have multiple conditions? As long as this is the zip code and the age is greater or equal to 18. So look at this one. Now we have two conditions. So here I'm checking one condition here. If this condition is true and if this condition is true, then I'll go inside and execute these statements. We cannot really easily do that in a for loop, and you should not be doing that kind of condition checking in a for loop. For loop is for simple purposes, as I stated earlier. So you want to use the while loop for more complex scenarios. And I can add many more conditions. And of course, assuming these variables are declared and we have some values, we have captured those values somehow, assuming we have that already done earlier on. So you can actually use truth tables to verify and, or, and not scenarios, which I'll actually talk about it, if not tonight, maybe the next time. I'll talk about what are some of the truth table scenarios when it comes to the condition checking. Juan? Okay, so this, no problem. So this one is called AND in English language. And if you want to use OR, this one is called OR. And if you want to use another one, this is called NOT. So we have these three logical operators.
Other languages have exit statements from either a for loop or a while loop. Is there such a thing in C++?
Yeah, you do have break and continue, but it is highly discouraged. It's discouraged because you want to control your flow of your code through your condition checking. And it is recommended, and all the authors you will see do not recommend that you abruptly exit out. Let the natural flow of the program take you out. So what it means is if the conditions are false or one of the conditions is false, then you want to exit out. But there's a possibility you can break out.
It's called break?
Break, yeah. You can put a statement called break. And you can put this in the if condition.
Yeah, another condition usually.
Right. Then you can say break out, and it can break out from that particular loop. It doesn't exit from the program. It just breaks from this loop.
And it also works for for loops?
That's right. Okay. It works for a switch case.
I use it sometimes for for loops, mostly not in while loops, but it's usually the same statement.
Right. This opposite to break is called continue. So if you want to continue to the next cycle, you want to skip one cycle, go to cycle number 4, cycle number 5.
Go back to the top early
and
or something like that.
Yeah, increment your cycle. Yeah. Very highly discouraged because that something came from non-sequential languages or languages which we used in 70s and 80s. In the newer languages, it is discouraged not to use those break statements, but because of legacy systems, we still have available in Java, C++, some of those statements. All right, so that's how you can use the while loop. And let's see if we have some code. So again, if you look at your Canvas site or on Canvas site, if I can find it, I'm going to pick up this code here. Let me see if this makes any sense to me. You know what? This will be a good opportunity to write our own code. So I'm going to pause it here, because while I'm writing the code, I might not be able to capture on the